Once upon a time, there lived a couple whose names were Adora and Chijioke. They had been married for 5 years, and their once warm and inviting home had now turned into a battlefield of words following the visit of Chijioke's mother. It has been 3 weeks since Chijioke's mother arrived their home, and Adora was not having it. Whilst Adora wakes up early to clean the house and get the children ready for school, her mother-in-law sleeps till it's 10 in the morning. She wakes up extremely hungry and expects Adora to have prepared breakfast for her before leaving the house for work. Adora tried to overlook it at first. She reminded herself that Mama was an elderly woman who should be respected, but as the days went by, resentment began to fester like an untreated wound. Each morning, as she rushed to prepare breakfast for her mother-in-law, whilst ensuring that the children were ready for school, Chijioke, her husband, sat in the living room, scrolling through his phone, oblivious to the burden that she carried. Adora was so furious to see that no one was willing to help. She began to yell out angrily, accusing her husband Chijioke of being so insensitive for not agreeing to hire a housekeeper for her, and Chijioke, without thinking twice, accused her of being lazy. Only lazy and useless women hire housekeepers, he said. Why will a young woman like you be complaining of stress this early in the morning? How hard is it to make breakfast and get only two children ready for school? He asked Adora, who stood there and watched as Chijioke walked away from her, smiling at his phone as though her worries were nothing more than background noise. This was the final straw for Adora, who could not endure the neglect anymore. She felt a sharp pain in her chest, not just from exhaustion, but from the realization that her husband no longer saw her struggles or felt her pain. She clenched her fist, her breath coming in short angry bursts as Chijioke disappeared into the bedroom, leaving her there alone with her mother-in-law's demands and her own simmering frustration. Later that night, as she lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, Adora knew that she had to make a choice. She could continue like this, unappreciated, unheard, and drowning in responsibilities, or she could take a stand. The next morning, she woke up earlier than usual, but instead of rushing to the kitchen, she dressed up, packed a small bag, and left the house. By the time Chijioke woke up, Adora was nowhere to be found. At first, he assumed that she had gone to work early, but when his mother started complaining about breakfast,